A loyal dog braves a blizzard, holding the key to save a kidnapped family. Can a boy's discovery of a hidden dashcam unravel a chilling conspiracy? Like, subscribe, and hit the bell to catch our latest thrilling stories. The blizzard roared, snow choking the abandoned gas station where Max, a golden retriever with ice-matted fur, sat rigid on the cracked pavement. His amber eyes sliced through the storm, fixed on an empty road, waiting for a family vanished 4 years ago in a so-called accident. Max's loyalty burned, untouched by hunger or frost. A truck's horn screamed, brakes shot, and it skidded down the icy highway, hurtling toward Max. The dog didn't flinch, staring ahead. 50 yards off, Finn, a wiry 14-year-old, spun around, snow stinging his face. He'd come to scavenge, not save a dog, but Max's defiance hit him. "Move!" Finn shouted, sprinting across the slick lot, boots slipping. He dove before Max, arms wide, heart pounding as the truck's grill loomed. The brakes screeched. The truck swerved, and stopped, its bumper grazing Finn's hands. Snow exploded around them, the driver cursing as he peeled off into the whiteout. Finn collapsed, gasping, and met Max's steady gaze, calm but piercing, like the dog was judging. "Bow him." "You're crazy," Finn panted, hands shaking. Max's faded collar glinted, its tag etched with a name and a ghost of an address. Finn knew Coldwater's rumors, a dog tied to a tragedy, but Max was flesh and blood, his vigil a shout of secrets. Finn scrambled up, scanning the lot, and spotted a gash in a snowbank by the rusted pumps. Max whined, nudging him toward it. Finn dug, fingers burning with cold, and yanked out a cracked dash cam, buried like a secret. His pulse raced. This was no junk. It was hidden on purpose. Max growled, ears twitching, and Finn whipped around, catching a shadow dart behind the station's skeletal frame. "Who's there?" he yelled, voice breaking. The wind mocked him, but Max's hackles rose, his growl deep. Finn clutched the dash cam, its weight a warning. The shadow was gone, but Finn's gut screamed. Someone saw him. He'd been in Coldwater a month, dumped with his cold aunt after his parents' divorce, and already knew the town hid things, stares that cut, whispers that died when he passed. Max nudged him, urgent, and Finn nodded. "Let's move," he said, shoving the dash cam into his jacket. Max led, steps sure, to a crumbling shed behind the station. Inside, the wind's howl faded, but Finn's nerves buzzed. He fumbled the dash cam, its lens fogged but intact. Max watched, eyes glinting. As Finn hit power, the screen flickered, grainy footage of a snowy road, a car spinning, masked figures swarming with military precision. Finn's stomach twisted. This was no accident. It was a hit. The footage froze on a masked sleeve, a jagged M logo Finn recognized from mining trucks that ruled Coldwater. Max's whine turned sharp, and a crunch of snow outside stopped Finn's heart. Someone was near. He killed the screen, crouching beside Max, whose body tensed, ready to lunge. Another crunch. Closer. Circling. Finn peered through a crack in the shed. A figure stood in the storm, holding something sharp, knife or gun. Finn couldn't tell. His breath caught. The figure paused, head tilting as if sensing them, then vanished into the blizzard. Finn's hands shook, the dash cam heavy in his pocket. This was bigger than he'd thought. Deadly. Max's gaze steadied him. The dog knew something, carried a truth Finn felt in his bones. They slipped out, the storm a white wall, and Finn's resolve hardened. He wasn't just a kid anymore. He was in this, with Max, and there was no backing out. The dash cam burned like a bomb as they trekked toward town, Max leading through knee-deep snow. Finn's mind raced. Why was Max still here? What happened to his family? The town's lights flickered ahead, dim and unwelcoming. Coldwater was a cage, its people tight-lipped, its history a locked vault. Finn had hated it from day one, but Max changed that. The dog's loyalty sparked something in him, a need to dig, to fight. They ducked into an alley, avoiding the main road where trucks rumbled, their M logos glaring. Finn's fingers brushed the dash cam, his heart still pounding from the shed. That figure wasn't random. Someone wanted that footage gone. He glanced at Max, who paused, sniffing the air, then growled low. Finn froze. Footsteps crunched behind them, heavy, deliberate. He spun, but the alley was empty, snow erasing any tracks. "Keep going," Finn whispered, his voice barely steady. Max moved, guiding him through back streets to a boarded-up store Finn used as a hideout. Inside, it was dark, the air stale. Finn barred the door, his hands trembling as he pulled out the dash cam again. Max sat close, ears alert. Finn hit play, the footage restarting. The car's spin, the masks, the M logo, it was all there. But now Finn noticed something new, a second car in the background. Its plates blurred but marked with a symbol he'd seen on the sheriff's cruiser. His blood ran cold. The law was in on this. Max's growl rumbled, and Finn's eyes flicked to the door. A shadow passed the boarded window, slow, searching. Finn's heart hammered. He shoved the dash cam into his jacket, grabbed a rusted pipe from the floor, and crouched by Max. The shadow lingered, then moved on. But Finn didn't relax. He was marked now. A kid with a secret someone would kill to keep. Max nudged his arm, urging him to move. Finn nodded, gripping the pipe. "We're not done," he said, voice hard. They slipped out, the storm their only cover. Max leading through the maze of Coldwater's edges. The dash cam was a ticking clock, the truth ablaze at Finn's throat, but Max's loyalty was afire. Whatever this conspiracy was, Finn would tear it apart, with Max by his side, or die trying. Word count, 11:32. Finn's boots crunched through the snow, his breath fogging in the icy air as he and Max slipped through Coldwater's back streets. The dash cam, a lead weight in his jacket. The blizzard hadn't let up, its howl masking the thud of his heart, still racing from the shed where a shadowed figure had stalked them. Max moved like a ghost, his golden fur barely visible in the whiteout, leading Finn with a purpose that felt like a command. The dog's loyalty was a lifeline, pulling Finn deeper into a mystery he wasn't sure he could handle. Coldwater's dim lights flickered through the storm, the town a maze of secrets Finn was only beginning to unravel. He'd seen the dashcam's footage, a car ambushed, masked figures, that M logo tied to the mining company that owned half the town. Worse, the sheriff's cruiser in the background, a betrayal that made Finn's skin crawl. He tightened his grip on the rusted pipe he'd grabbed, his knuckles white. Whoever was watching them knew he had the dash cam, and Finn wasn't naive enough to think they'd let it slide. Max paused, ears twitching, and Finn froze, ducking behind a dumpster. Footsteps echoed, heavy and close, cutting through the storm's roar. Finn peeked out, his pulse spiking as a man in a dark coat passed, his face hidden, a radio crackling at his hip. "No sign yet," the man muttered, his voice low, before vanishing into an alley. Finn's stomach churned. They were hunting him. Max growled softly, nudging Finn's leg, and they moved, darting through a gap in a fence to avoid the main road. Finn's aunt's house was a mile off, a rundown shack on the town's edge, and he needed to get there without being seen. The dash cam burned in his pocket, its secrets a ticking bomb. Max led him through a frozen ditch, their tracks swallowed by the snow, and Finn's mind raced. Why bury the dash cam? Why was Max still waiting? And who was desperate enough to tail a kid in a blizzard? They reached the house, its windows dark, his aunt likely asleep or drunk. Finn slipped through the back door, Max at his heels, and locked it, his hands shaking as he checked the street. Nothing but snow and shadows. He exhaled, but the unease lingered. Max whined, pacing by the kitchen table, his eyes fixed on Finn's jacket. "All right, buddy," Finn whispered, pulling out the dash cam. The kitchen was dim, the only light a flickering bulb. Finn set the device on the table, its cracked casing glinting like a skull. He hit play, the screen sputtering to life. The footage rolled, a snowy road, the car spinning, masked figures closing in. Finn leaned closer, his breath catching as he spotted new details. A woman's scream, a child's cry, and a man shouting, "You can't hide this!" Before a gunshot cut him off. Finn flinched, the sound echoing in his head. The M logo flashed again, but now Finn saw something else. A gloved hand tossing a canister into the car, smoke billowing before the footage cut out. His hands trembled. This was no robbery. It was an execution, covered up as a crash. Max's whine turned urgent, and Finn's eyes flicked to the window. A shadow moved outside, quick and deliberate. He killed the screen, heart hammering, and grabbed the pipe. "Stay away!" "Stay," he hissed to Max, creeping to the door. The shadow was gone, but Finn's blood ran cold. Someone had followed them. He backed away, the dash cam clutched tight, and noticed Max sniffing a crumpled paper under the table. Dropped from his jacket. Finn snatched it up, a torn map, scrawled with coordinates and the words Old Mine Trail. His pulse spiked. This wasn't with the dash cam before. Someone had planted it, maybe in the alley. Max growled, ears flat, and Finn stuffed the map into his pocket. "We're not safe here," he muttered, slinging on his coat. Max was already at the back door, scratching to move. Finn followed, pipe in hand, and they slipped into the storm, heading for the forest edge where the mine trail began. The snow was relentless, but Max's instincts were sharper, guiding Finn through a tangle of pines. Finn's mind churned. The map was a lead, but it could be a trap. The mining company ran Coldwater, its trucks, its bumstow, its sheriff. If they'd staged the ambush, they'd kill to keep it buried. Max stopped, sniffing a broken branch, and Finn crouched, spotting tire tracks half covered by snow. Someone had been here. Recently. A low hum cut through the wind. A motor. Close, B. Finn dove behind a tree, pulling Max with him. As a snowmobile roared past, its rider scanning the trail, Finn's heart pounded. They'd been tracked. The snowmobile vanished, but Finn stayed low, his breath shallow. Max's growl vibrated, and Finn nodded. "We keep going," he whispered. They pushed deeper, the trail narrowing, until Max halted at a frozen stream, pawing at the snow. Finn dug, uncovering a rusted key, its tag marked with the same M logo. His stomach dropped. This was no coincidence. Max's eyes locked on the forest ahead, where the trail twisted toward the old mines. Finn gripped the key, the dash cam, and the pipe, his resolve hardening. The town's warnings echoed, "Stay away, kid," but Max's loyalty drowned them out. A twig snapped behind them. Finn spun, pipe raised, but saw only snow. Then a voice, low and cold, carried on the wind. "You shouldn't have taken it." Finn's blood froze. He grabbed Max's collar, and they ran, the forest closing in. The dash cam's truth ablated at their backs. Whoever was out there was closing in, and Finn knew one thing. He and Max were all in, or they were dead. Finn's heart pounded as he and Max sprinted through the snowy forest. The chilling voice, "You shouldn't have taken it," still echoing in his ears. The dash cam, key, and crumpled map burned in his jacket, each a piece of a puzzle that could get him killed. Max led the way, his golden fur a faint beacon in the blizzard, weaving through pines with a sureness that felt like destiny. Finn gripped the rusted pipe tighter, his breath ragged, every snap of a twig making him flinch. The old mine trail was a labyrinth, its paths buried under snow. But Max's instincts cut through the chaos. Finn's mind raced, replaying the dashcam's footage, masked figures, the M logo, the sheriff's cruiser, and the map's coordinates pointing deeper into this frozen hell. He wasn't sure if he was chasing answers or running into a trap, but Max's loyalty kept him moving. The dog stopped abruptly, sniffing the ground, and Finn crouched beside him, spotting a glint of metal half buried in the snow. He dug, heart racing, and pulled out a twisted car fender, its paint scorched but marked with a faint sticker. A child's drawing of a dog. Finn's stomach twisted. This was their car, Max's family's. Max whined, pawing at the snow, and Finn's vision blurred as a memory not his own flashed through his mind. A little girl, maybe 8, with braids and a gap-toothed smile, tossing a ball to Max in a sunlit yard. "Good boy, Max," she laughed, her voice clear as day. Lily, Finn thought, the name hitting him like a punch. Max's eyes met his, heavy with grief, and Finn knew the dog was reliving it too. The yoso, the waiting. He swallowed hard, shoving the fender back into the snow. "We'll find her, he whispered. "Famire," he whispered, but a rustle in the trees snapped him back. Max growled, ears flat, and Finn spun, pipe raised. 2 figures emerged from the storm, burly men in heavy coats, their faces hard, one clutching a crowbar. "Kid, you're in the wrong place," the taller one growled, his voice thick with menace. Finn's pulse spiked. These weren't locals. They were company men, their coats patched with the M logo. "Back off," Finn said, voice shaky but firm. Stepping in front of Max, the second man laughed, cracking his knuckles. "Hand over what you took, and maybe you walk." Max's growl turned feral, teeth bared, and Finn's grip tightened. He wasn't giving up the dash cam. Not now, not ever. The tall man lunged, crowbar swinging, and Finn dove, shoving Max aside. The metal grazed his shoulder, pain flaring. But he rolled to his feet, swinging the pipe. It connected with the man's arm, a sickening crack, and the thug cursed, stumbling back. Max leaped, snapping at the second man's legs, forcing him to retreat. "Run!" Finn shouted, and they bolted, the men's shouts fading into the storm. Finn's shoulder throbbed, but adrenaline kept him moving. Max leading through a narrow ravine. They ducked under an overhang, panting, as snow buried their tracks. Finn's hands shook as he checked the dash cam, still intact. "Nice one, Max," he gasped, ruffling the dog's fur. Max's eyes flicked to the trail ahead, urging them on. Finn nodded, but a faint hum grew louder. A snowmobile, closing in. He cursed, pulling Max deeper into the ravine. The machine roared past, its rider scanning the snow, radio crackling. Finn held his breath. Max tensed beside him, until the sound faded. They moved again, the trail twisting toward a clearing where the car's wreckage lay scattered. More fenders, a shattered headlight, all hidden under fresh snow. Finn's chest tightened. Someone had tried to erase this. Max pawed at a tire, whining, and Finn dug, uncovering a child's backpack, its straps torn. Inside was a photo. Lily, her parents, and Max, all smiling, oblivious to the nightmare coming. Finn's throat burned. Max had waited 4 years for them, and Finn was starting to understand why. The dog's loyalty wasn't just love, it was a promise. A twig snapped, and Finn whipped around, pipe ready. A woman stepped from the trees, her face weathered, eyes sharp. "You shouldn't be here, kid," she said, her voice low, but not hostile. Finn tensed, Max growling. "Who are you?" he demanded. She raised her hands, unarmed. "Name's Clara. I knew them, Lily's family. You're stirring up trouble the company wants buried." Finn's jaw clenched. "They're alive, aren't they?" Clara's eyes flickered. "Maybe, but you're on their list now." She nodded at the dash cam. "That's your death warrant." Finn's stomach dropped, but before he could answer, a wire snapped under his foot. A net sprang from the snow, tangling his legs. Finn fell hard, the pipe slipping, and Max barked. lunging to bite the ropes. Clara cursed, pulling a knife to cut Finn free, but a gunshot cracked through the air. Clara dove behind a tree, shouting, "Go!" Finn scrambled up, half dragged by Max, as another shot rang out. The company men were back. Closer, their radios buzzing. Finn's legs burned as he and Max ran, the forest a blur, the backpack clutched tight. They slid down a slope, snow avalanching around them, and hit a frozen creek, panting. Finn's shoulder screamed, but he checked the dash cam and photo, both safe. Max's eyes locked on the trail ahead, where the mines loomed. Finn's resolve hardened. Clara's warning, the trap, the gunfire, it all screamed one thing. The company would kill to keep their secret. But Max's memories, Lily's smile drove Finn forward. He wasn't just a kid anymore. He was their last hope. Finn's lungs burned as he and Max tore through the snowy forest, the echo of gunfire still ringing in his ears. The backpack with Lily's photo bounced against his hip, the dash cam and key heavy in his jacket, each a shard of a truth Coldwater's mining company would kill to bury. Max led the way, his golden fur streaked with snow, weaving through pines with a fierce determination that kept Finn moving despite the throbbing pain in his shoulder. Clara's warning, "You're on their list now," gnawed at him, but the image of Lily's smile, locked in Max's memories, burned brighter. The trail twisted, the storm relentless, but Max's instincts were a compass, guiding them toward answers Finn could feel but not yet see. His mind churned, the dash cam's footage of the ambush, the M logo, the sheriff's cruiser, the map to the old mines. It all pointed to a cover-up, a family silenced for what they knew. Max stopped, sniffing the ground, and Finn crouched, spotting a faint path branching off, barely visible under fresh snow. Max's ears twitched, and Finn followed, heart pounding. As they pushed through a thicket to a clearing, a dilapidated cabin loomed, its roof sagging, windows boarded. Finn's pulse spiked. This was no coincidence. Max had brought him here. He gripped his rusted pipe, scanning the shadows, and nudged the door. It creaked open, revealing a musty interior littered with papers and broken furniture. Max whined, pawing at a crate in the corner, and Finn knelt, prying it open. Inside were files, stained and crumpled, marked with the mining company's logo. Finn's hands shook as he scanned them, reports of illegal chemical dumping, falsified safety records, and a name circled in red, Daniel Harper, Lily's father, listed as a whistleblower. Finn's stomach dropped. The accident was a hit to silence Daniel's family, and they weren't dead, they were hidden. Max's growl snapped Finn's head up. Headlights pierced the storm outside, a vehicle rumbling close. Finn stuffed a file into his jacket, grabbed the dash cam, and ducked behind a table. Max crouching beside him. The door slammed open, and boots thudded in. Two men, their voices low, one barking into a radio, "Check the cabin. Kid's been sniffing around." Finn's heart raced. They were company men, like the ones from the forest. Max's body tensed, ready to spring, but Finn held him, whispering, "Wait." The men tore through the cabin, tossing papers, their radios crackling. Finn's eyes darted to a loose floorboard near the crate. He slid it open, revealing a small crawl space, and motioned Max inside. They squeezed in, Finn pulling the board back just as a flashlight beam swept the room. His breath caught, Max's warmth steadying him, as the men's boots passed inches away. "Nothing here, Bundy." One grunted, and they left, the vehicle roaring off. Finn exhaled, crawling out, but Max's growl stopped him. Another engine growled, closer, and a new voice cut through the storm, gruff, commanding, "Find him, or you're done." Finn's blood froze. He knew that voice, the sheriff, Carter, whose cruiser was in the dash cam footage. Finn peered through a crack in the wall, seeing Carter's hulking figure in the snow, a pistol glinting in his hand. Finn's throat tightened. The law wasn't just complicit, it was leading the hunt. Max nudged him, urging escape. But the sheriff's radio buzzed. He's got the files. Seal the trail, Finn cursed. They were trapped. He grabbed Max's collar, and they bolted out the back, sprinting into the forest as headlights swung toward the cabin. Snow stung Finn's face, his shoulder screaming, but Max's speed kept them ahead. They slid down a ravine, branches snapping, and Finn's foot caught a root, sending him sprawling. The dash cam skidded into the snow, and Finn scrambled for it, heart hammering as Carter's voice echoed. There! A flashlight beam locked onto them, and Finn dove, grabbing the dash cam, but Carter was fast, his boots crunching closer. Finn stumbled to his feet, pipe raised, but Carter loomed, pistol aimed at Finn's chest. Drop it, kid, he snarled, his eyes cold. Finn froze, the pipe useless against the gun. Carter stepped closer, snow crunching, his radio crackling with orders. Finn's mind raced. He was out of moves. Then Max lunged, a golden blur, slamming into Carter's legs. The sheriff staggered, the pistol firing wild, the shot echoing as snow exploded around them. Finn dove, tackling Carter's arm, and the gun skidded into the drift. Max snarled, teeth bared, pinning Carter's coat as Finn scrambled up. Pipe swinging, it cracked against Carter's shoulder, and the sheriff roared, shoving Max off. Finn grabbed the dash cam and ran, Max at his heels. As Carter's curses faded into the storm, they slid into a ditch, panting, Finn's hands shaking as he checked the dash cam, still intact. Max's eyes locked on the trail ahead, where the mines waited. Finn's resolve hardened. The files proved the company's crimes, Carter's betrayal, and the family's survival. But Carter's radio had buzzed with a chilling order. Eliminate them all. Finn's chest tightened. Lily and her family were alive, but not for long. A snowmobile's hum grew, and Finn pulled Max behind a tree, the beam missing them by inches. The rider passed, but Finn knew more were coming. He clutched the files, the dash cam, the key, and Lily's photo. Max's loyalty a fire in his veins. The company had taken everything from Max, but Finn wouldn't let them win. They moved. The storm, their only shield, toward the mines where answers and danger waited. Finn's boots skidded on the icy trail, his breath ragged as he and Max raced through the snowy forest, the sheriff's curses and the hum of snowmobiles fading behind them. The dash cam, files, key, and Lily's photo weighed heavy in his jacket, each a piece of a truth the mining company would kill to keep buried. Max led the charge, his golden fur a faint glow in the blizzard, his instincts razor sharp, guiding Finn toward the old mines where answers and danger lurked. Finn's shoulder throbbed from the fight with Carter, but Max's relentless pace kept him moving, the dog's loyalty a fire against the cold. The files from the cabin confirmed it. Lily's family was a Levam, hidden to silence their knowledge of the company's illegal dumping. Carter's radioed order, eliminate them all, rang in Finn's ears, a death sentence he couldn't outrun. Max slowed, sniffing the air, and veered off the trail, leading Finn to a rocky outcrop. Finn crouched, heart pounding, as Max pawed at a snow-covered grate embedded in the ground. Finn brushed away the snow, revealing a rusted hatch, its lock matching the key in his pocket. His pulse spiked. This was it, a way in. He fumbled the key, hands shaking, and the lock clicked open. Max whined, ears twitching, as Finn lifted the hatch, exposing a dark tunnel sloping downward, its walls slick with ice. The air smelled of damp stone and oil, a faint hum echoing from below. Finn gripped his rusted pipe, glancing at Max. You sure about this, buddy? Max's steady gaze was answer enough. They descended, Finn's boots slipping on the icy steps, Max's claws clicking beside him. The tunnel narrowed, the hum growing louder, until they reached a steel door, its edges glowing with faint light. Finn pressed his ear to it, hearing muffled voices, clipped, professional, like soldiers. Prep the subjects for transfer. one said. No loose ends. Finn's blood ran cold. They were talking about Lily's family. He cracked the door, peering into a cavernous underground facility, its walls lined with pipes and crates, lit by harsh fluorescence. Guards in M logo jackets patrolled, rifles slung across their chests. At the far end, a barred cell held three figures. Lily, her parents, pale and battered, but alive. Finn's chest tightened. Max's low growl vibrated, and Finn eased the door shut. Mind racing. They had to get in, but one wrong move meant death. Max nudged him, pointing to a vent above the door, just wide enough to crawl through. Finn nodded, prying the vent open with his pipe, and they climbed in, Max squeezing behind. The vent was tight, Finn's elbows scraping metal, the air thick with dust. They crawled, the guards' voices clearer now. Boss wants them gone by dawn, one said. No evidence. Finn's jaw clenched. He wouldn't let that happen. The vent opened into a storage room, and Finn dropped silently, Max landing beside him. Crates of chemicals, marked with the same illegal codes from the files, lined the walls. Finn grabbed a guard's jacket from a hook, slipping it on to blend in, and tucked the dash cam and files deeper into his coat. Max stayed low, slinking through shadows as Finn cracked the door, spotting a guard at the cell block. Finn's heart hammered. He motioned Max to wait and stepped out, head down, mimicking the guard's stride. The guard barely glanced up, but Finn's hand tightened on the pipe hidden in his sleeve. He reached a control panel by the cell, pretending to check it, and overheard a radio. Perimeter's clear. Kid's still out there. Finn's stomach dropped. They were still hunting him. He scanned the panel, spotting a keycard slot. The key from the hatch wouldn't work here, but a card dangled from a nearby crate. Finn snatched it, swiped, and the cell's lock clicked. The guard spun. Hey! Finn swung the pipe, cracking the man's helmet, and he crumpled. Alarms blared, red lights flashing. As Finn yanked the cell door open, Lily's eyes widened, her parents staggering to their feet. Come on, Finn hissed, but boots thundered closer. Max lunged from the shadows, tackling a guard rushing in, his snarls echoing. Finn shoved Lily and her parents toward the storage room, grabbing the fallen guard's rifle. He didn't know how to use it, but it felt like power. They ran, Max catching up, as shouts and alarms filled the facility. Finn led them to the tunnel, but a steel gate slammed shut ahead, locking them in. No! Finn pounded the gate, panic rising. Max barked, pawing at a side passage, and Finn followed, the family stumbling behind. The passage was narrow, icy, and sloped upward, but guards' shouts echoed behind, flashlights cutting the dark. Finn pushed Lily ahead, her mother gasping, her father limping. A guard appeared, rifle raised, and Finn fired wildly, the recoil jarring his arm. The guard ducked, and Finn ran, Max snapping at another's heels. The passage opened to a snowy cave, but the guards were close, their radios buzzing. Seal the exits. Finn's heart sank. A hidden door in the cave wall caught his eye, marked with the M logo. He swiped the key card, and it creaked open, revealing a snowy slope outside. They piled through, but a guard's shout rang out, and a bullet grazed Finn's arm, pain searing. Max turned, snarling, ready to charge, but Finn grabbed his collar. Not now. They slid down the slope, snow avalanching around them, the guard's lights fading. Finn clutched the dash cam, files, and Lily's hand. Max's loyalty pulling them through the storm toward freedom, or a fight they couldn't win. Finn dragged Lily through the snowy slope, her parents stumbling behind, the mining company's guards closing in, their flashlight beams slashing the blizzard. The dash cam, files, and Lily's photo were stuffed in his jacket, a truth they'd risked everything for. Max led the way, golden fur flashing, weaving through ice with fierce speed. Finn's arm burned from a bullet graze, but he pushed Lily's father. Daniel, forward, his limp slowing them. Sarah's gasps cut the cold. Guards' shouts and radios echoing kill orders. Finn gripped the stolen rifle, swinging it toward shadows. But the slope steepened, ice cracking. Max barked, veering left, and Finn shoved Lily's family toward a narrow ridge. A rumble shook the ground, snow shifting, then roaring, an avalanche, sparked by their escape. "Run!" Finn yelled, diving with Lily behind a boulder as the white wall surged, burying guards' screams. The first wave passed, but a second cracked above. Finn spotted a cave shadow, a crack in the rock. "There!" he shouted, waving them on. They sprinted, boots slipping, rifle bouncing. Max led, but froze, ears flat, staring down the slope. Finn spun. 3 guards had clawed free, rifles raised, beams locking on. "Got him!" one bellowed, firing. Bullets sparked, and Finn ducked, firing back, shots going wide. The avalanche loomed, seconds away. Max snarled, bolting at the guard, a golden blur. Finn shouted, "Max!" But Lily held him. Max slammed into the lead guard, teeth ripping his arm, rifle falling. He dodged the second swing, tackling his legs, snarling, drawing all 3 away. The third aimed, but Max's barks pulled him off balance. The avalanche hit, a white beast, sweeping the guards down the slope. Max leaped, but the snow caught him, his golden form tumbling out of sight, a faint bark fading. Finn lunged, but Daniel grabbed him, shoving him into the cave. Sarah pulled Lily, the storm muffled by rock. Finn pounded the wall, shouting, "He's out there!" But Daniel's grip held. "He saved us." "We move," he said, voice rough. Lily's eyes were wet, Sarah holding her. Finn checked the dash cam and files. Safe. Max's bark lingered, a plea to keep going. He rummaged through the files, finding a radio frequency. The guard's rifle radio hissed, "Lost the dumb. He's gone." Finn's jaw clenched, hope flickering. Max might be alive. The cave was narrow, winding deeper. Footsteps crunched outside. Guards searching. Finn led them through a passage, finding a steel grate with the M logo. He swiped the key card, the grate opening to an icy tunnel. They moved. Daniel supporting Sarah, Lily's steps quick. Shouts echoed behind, flashlights cutting the dark. The tunnel sloped up, air colder, opening to a snowy ledge over the mines. Finn ducked, spotting guards below. Radios buzzing. "Kids pinned. Call Carter." He saw a snowmobile by a crate, keys dangling. Finn sprinted, grabbing them, waving the family over. "On!" he hissed. Daniel climbed behind Sarah, Lily between. Finn cranked the engine, drawing fire. Bullets sparked, and he gunned it, skidding down the slope, dodging rocks. Guards chased, beams fading in the storm. A guard blocked the path, rifle up, but Finn veered, tipping the snowmobile, then righting it, speeding past. The ledge hit a frozen stream, and Finn braked, checking the dash cam. The family panted, eyes fierce. Finn scanned the snow, Max's bark a faint hope, driving him toward Coldwater's edge, the truth a weapon they'd wield for Max. Finn floored the snowmobile's throttle, its engine screaming as it tore across the frozen stream. Lily and her parents clinging tight, snow spraying in their wake. The dash cam and files were stuffed in his jacket, a truth the mining company would kill to bury. The mines loomed behind, guards' shouts drowned by the blizzard. But Finn's ears strained for pursuit. Carter and his men were still out there. He swerved onto a logging road, Coldwater's lights flickering ahead, aiming for the state police outpost 10 miles out, beyond the company's reach. Daniel shouted, "Stay off the main road." Finn veered into a ditch, dodging a roadblock of 2M logo trucks, their guards firing rifles. Bullets sparked off the snowmobile, and Finn zigzagged through pines, branches snapping, the machine lurching over a rise. Lily's mother, Sarah, gripped his shoulder, pointing to a gap in the trees. Finn gunned it, leaping a ridge, landing hard, the truck's beams fading in the storm. Max was still out there, lost in the avalanche, but the guards' radioed words, "The dog escaped," burned in Finn's mind, a spark of hope. He braked at the outpost floodlights, waving the family off. "Inside," he barked, clutching the rifle and dash cam. Daniel led Sarah and Lily, Finn covering their backs as a trooper opened the door. "Evidence!" Finn thrust the dash cam forward, hitting play. The footage flickered. Masked figures, the ambush, the M logo. Daniel added, "They kidnapped us, tried to kill us." The trooper radioed for backup, but tires screeched outside. Carter's cruiser skidded in, the sheriff leaping out, pistol blazing. Finn dove behind the snowmobile, bullets pinging metal. The trooper fired back, shouting, "Drop it!" But Carter advanced, forcing Finn to scramble for cover. He tossed the dash cam to Daniel, who ran inside and returned fire, the rifle bucking, grazing Carter's arm. The sheriff roared, but two company trucks roared up, guards spilling out, rifles blazing. Finn slid behind a crate, firing to pin them. But a grenade arced through the air, exploding near the outpost, smoke and debris choking the lot. Finn sprinted, dragging the trooper to cover, and lobbed a flare from the crate, its red glow drawing the guards' fire. Sirens wailed, state police backup, and Finn charged, tackling a guard, wrenching his rifle free. Carter lunged, pistol jamming into Finn's side. But Finn elbowed his gut, breaking free as troopers swarmed, cuffing Carter and the guards. Finn panted, checking the dash cam, safe with Daniel. Hours later, Finn stood in Coldwater's town hall, the room packed, townsfolk murmuring. The state police had raided the company, arresting its CEO. The dash cam footage now viral. Finn faced a federal agent, files spread out, Lily's family beside him. "Tell it all," the agent said. Finn recounted the gas station, Max's lead, the cabin, the facility, the avalanche where Max vanished. "He's still out there," Finn said, voice firm, Lily's nod urging him on. The crowd hushed as he detailed Carter's betrayal, the company's crimes. Clara, from the forest, stood in the back, eyes sharp. The agent sealed the files. "This buries them." Outside, reporters swarmed, but Finn broke away, Lily at his side, heading to the mine's edge. A trooper had reported dog tracks near the ridge, and Finn gripped at Max's collar, hope rising. A black SUV peeled from an alley, its window down, a rifle glinting. Finn shoved Lily behind a car, diving as bullets cracked the pavement. He fired back, glass shattering, and pulled Lily into a shop, the SUV speeding off. Finn clutched the rifle, scanning the street, Max's bark a faint echo in his mind. The trooper radioed, "Tracks lead to the old trail." Finn led Lily there, sprinting through snow, dodging shadows. A guard blocked the path, rifle up, but Finn tackled him, knocking him out, and ran on. Lily's family trailing, the truth their shield, Max their guide. Toward a reunion they refused to lose. Finn sprinted through the snowy trail, Lily at his heels. The trooper's words, dog tracks near the old mines, fueling their pace. The dash cam and files were with the state police. The mining company's conspiracy shattered, but the SUV's attack proved someone wanted Finn dead. He gripped the rifle, dodging pines, the storm's last gust stinging his face. Lily clutched Max's collar, her eyes fierce, Daniel and Sarah trailing, their breath sharp. The trail twisted, Finn scanning for guards. The company's reach still a threat. A low bark echoed, faint but unmistakable. And Finn froze, heart pounding. He signaled Lily to stay low, creeping forward, rifle ready. A guard blocked the path. M logo on his jacket, pistol raised. Finn dove, tackling him, the pistol skidding into snow. He knocked the man out with the rifle's butt, waving Lily on. The bark grew louder, guiding them to a clearing. There, limping from the shadows, was Max, golden fur matted, battered but alive, his tail wagging as Lily ran to him, sobbing. "You're back!" Max licked her face, nuzzling Daniel and Sarah, who knelt, their hugs tight. Finn dropped beside Max, ruffling his fur, relief surging. Max had clawed free of the avalanche, tracking them through the storm. A trooper caught up, radioing. "Found the dog!" But tires screeched nearby. A black SUV roared into the clearing, doors flying open. 3 men in suits leaping out, rifles blazing. Finn shoved Lily and Max behind a rock, firing back, bullets sparking. Daniel grabbed a fallen pistol, shooting, while Sarah pulled Lily deeper into cover. Finn lobbed a flare from his pack, its red glow scattering the men, smoke curling. The troopers charged, pinning 2 men, but the third, Victor Kane, board member, conspiracy's mastermind, sprinted for the SUV. Finn gave chase, leaping over logs, dodging Kane's shots. He tackled Kane at the vehicle's door, wrenching his rifle free, pinning him as troopers cuffed him. Kane's wallet spilled, a card with the M logo confirming his role. Finn panted, Max barking, leading a trooper to the scene, as if guarding Finn. Days later, Coldwater gathered at the bus station, unveiling Max's statue, golden fur carved mid-stride, eyes fierce, plaque reading, "Loyalty lives forever." Max sat beside it, tail thumping, as Daniel spoke, praising Finn and Max. The company's leaders jailed, Coldwater free. Clara nodded from the crowd, proud. Lily laid a wreath, whispering, "You brought us home." Finn stood with her, their hands brushing, Max nudging them. The town hall buzzed, reporters flashing cameras, but Finn slipped away, Max trotting beside, Lily laughing as he chased snowflakes. Daniel and Sarah rebuilt their home, Max's barks echoing, the family whole. Finn settled with his aunt, Coldwater his home, purpose found. Weeks later, Finn and Lily met at the statue, Max bounding through snow, their bond unbreakable. A sunrise had bathed the memorial, its golden light catching the plaque. A glow of renewal. Finn scratched Max's ears, biking off, but a burner phone buzzed, slipped into his pack during the fight. A voice hissed, "You missed one." Finn tossed it into the snow, Max's bark drowning the threat, Lily's wave grounding him. He pedaled on, Max running alongside, the truth their victory. Coldwater alive under the blazing dawn. A brave dog's loyalty guided a boy to expose a sinister plot, saving a family from darkness. Thanks for listening. Like, share, and subscribe for more gripping tales. Don't forget to hit the bell for our newest videos.